Hello all, welcome to session 38 of the PySpark series. So from the last session we have started a case when statement in PySpark. Okay, same we are learning in Spark SQL as well. Okay, so in last session what we have seen is, for example, we have seen problem statement like this where we have only one when condition is needed. Okay, so we have two conditions. Okay, one we can cover using when, and remaining we can cover in else. Okay, in this session we'll go a little deeper. Okay, and we'll try to understand when we have multiple when conditions. Okay, so for example, the problem statement we can create is like when salary is less than 10,000, then make it, then write it as very low salary, right? Salary type as very low salary. Okay. Uh, when salary is, let's say, greater than, okay, less than or equal to, let's keep it equal to also, equal to 10,000. When salary is greater than 10,000, okay, and less than or equal to 30,000, then low salary. Okay, and when salary is, let's say, greater than 30,000, okay, and less than, let's say, 50,000, okay, less than or equal to, okay, less than or equal to 50,000, then it should be, let's say, average salary. Okay, just trying to define the problem statement. Okay, let's say average salary. Okay, and let's say when salary, let me copy this only. Okay, right. Next is when salary is greater than, let's say, 50,000 and less than or equal to, let's say, 1 lakh, then we can call it high salary, right? High salary. Okay, and when salary is greater than 1 lakh, right? When salary is greater than 1 lakh, then it is very high salary, right? Very high salary. Okay, so in this case, um, in this case, we have multiple conditions involved, right? For example, when salary is less than or equal to 10,000, then it is very low salary, right? When it is greater than 10,000 and less than or equal to 30,000, okay, then low salary, then average salary, high salary, and very high salary, right? So, how to achieve, how to work with such problem statements using case when, okay? So let's start. We have this data frame already created in last session. We are using the same, right? So code, you all know we have to import types, we have to import functions, we have to create struct schema to create the data frame, okay? And we are reading the CSV file, okay? Just for this demo, right? Fine. So let's create, let's say, emp df1, okay? emp df, okay? Let's start using select statement. Okay, so what I have to do, first I have to select the columns that I need. For example, employee ID. Okay, then there are three more columns I'll be selecting. Okay, employee name. Okay, then let me select employee department first. Employee, what is the name of the column? Is that department? Yes, employee department. And then I'll select employee salary so that we have the salary type, okay, and employee salary together, right? Employee salary, right? Now my problem statement is first condition, when my salary is less than or equal to 10,000, then I have to showcase that as very low salary, right? So what I have to do, I have to use expr, right? let me start. Case when employee salary is less than or equal to 10,000, right? Then what is that? Very low salary, right? Very low salary, right? Now this is first condition I have written. In previous session, what we did after first when we directly ended with else, right? Here what we have to do, as we have multiple conditions, we have multiple whens to use, right? So what I have to do next? When. Okay. What is the next condition? Employee salary. Just a second. When. What is the next salary? Employee salary. What is that? Greater than 10,000. Okay. And and employee salary less than or equal to 30,000, right? Then it is very, then I have to put it as low salary. Okay. I have to put what? Low salary, right? When salary is greater than 10,000 and is less than equal to 30,000, then it is low salary, right? Now, what is my next when condition? It is, what is the next? Yeah. So salary greater than 30,000 and less than or equal to 50,000, right? So greater than 30,000 and less than or equal to 50,000, then it is what? Average salary, right? Average salary. Okay. Let's write next when. Okay. Then when employee salary greater than 50,000 and employee salary less than or equal to 1 lakh, less than or equal to 1 lakh, then what is that? High salary, right? High salary. Okay. Otherwise, if it doesn't satisfy all these conditions, otherwise it is very high salary. Okay. So we can put directly else very high salary, right? And as salary type, right? Let me run this. Okay. And let me display empdf1 dot display, right? So you can see less than 10,000 equal, less than or equal to 10. What is that? 10,000. Okay. 10,000. It is very low salary. Greater than 10,000, it is low salary, right? Greater than 30,000, between 30,000 to 50,000, it is average salary. Okay. Again, it is very low here. Now, high salary is greater than 50,000, but less than 1 lakh. Okay. And do we have greater than 1 lakh? Okay, here it is. So greater than 1 lakh, it is very high salary. Okay. This is how we achieve the results when we have multiple when conditions in place. Okay. So what we have done, when employee salary less than equal to 10,000, then very low salary, right? My second condition, again, I have used when, then, right? Again, when, then. I have used and, right? Because if my these two conditions are satisfying, then it is average salary, right? So I have used and in the end, I have to use and as, okay? To just name the column which we are deriving from employee salary column, right? This is when we are using select statement, right? Now, when we use select expr, emp df2 equals to emp df dot select expr. Okay, what's the difference? I don't have to specify f dot expr, right? This f dot expr that I have specified, that I don't need to specify, right? So what I can do, I can directly select all the columns here first, okay, and I can directly write my case statement, right? Case when employee salary is less than or equal to 10,000, okay, 10,000, then what? Very low salary, okay, when employee salary is greater than 10,000, right? And employee salary less than or equal to 30,000, right? Then what is that? Low salary, low salary, right? Next when statement, when employee salary is greater than 30,000, right? And employee salary less than equal to 50,000, okay? Then what is that? Average salary, right? Average, okay, let me put average salary, right? What is next? When employee salary greater than 50,000 and employee salary less than equal to 1 lakh, okay? Then high salary, right? High salary, okay? Else what? Very high salary, right? Else very high salary, and I have to end as what? The column name salary type. Column name salary type, right? Let me run this. This is successful, right? This is how we write multiple when conditions, okay? Dot display, right? Dot display. Let me use formatting, okay? So in Databricks, if you want to format your code, you can use format Python. For that, your notebook should have the cluster connected, okay? Fine. So this is when we are using select expr, right? We don't have to use f dot expr, right? Just a second. Let me try to. Okay, when, right? Else very high salary, and as salary type, I think this will give error. Yeah. Undetermined string literal. I don't know if we can use three triple quotes. Let's see. I think yes, this will be, yes, this is successful, right? So this is how we have formatted. Let it run. Yeah. So how we have formatted, we have used three double quotes, right? That we have seen already. If we want to write multiple line query, this is like a SQL expression, right? So we have to, when we have to write multiple line, what I can do, I can just specify it in three quote, right? So that it is more readable, right? That's how we make the code readable, right? Now, what is the next? Next option we have seen is empdf3 equals to empdf. I have to achieve that using with column, right? So with column, what we do? I have to create new column. Okay, so I have specified that column here. Again, I have to use f dot expr, right? Let me use three double quotes here. Okay, and I'll directly copy this. Okay, because now you are aware how to specify the case when for multiple conditions, right? F dot expr, right? F dot expr. Let me run this. Okay, it is successful. Let's try to format the code. Okay, see, this is how it formats the Python code, right? empdf3. Let me display. Right? Yes, this is again the same results we have achieved using with column transformation. But in all the three transformations, select expr and with column, what we have done is we have written a SQL expression, right? Same expression we are going to write. Sorry, here in with column we don't need and as, reason being we are already specifying the column name, right? So this is not needed. What has happened? Syntax error at or near f.expr. What's the syntax error? Okay, what it is saying? f.expr. Okay, just a second. Let me remove this. Again, syntax error at f.expr. Okay, what's the syntax error? Syntax error is we have removed end also. Sorry, end also. What we have to put? We have to keep end there. And as we can remove, but end we have to end this case statement, right? So we have to keep the end. We have removed end as, right? Alias we have removed, right? This was the syntax error, right? You have to keep end. Okay. In with column you don't need end as. You don't need the column name to be specified because you're already specifying that. Okay, in with column transformation, right? Now, mm, let's solve this using SQL. So it is same as above, right? We have written SQL expressions only, right? I'll just show you how we can solve using Spark SQL, right? Okay, Spark SQL, right? Let me use three double quotes here because I'll go multi line. Select star, okay? Case when employee salary is less than or equal to 10,000, okay? Then what? High salary, then high salary, right? When employee salary greater than 10,000, right? And employee salary is less than 30,000, then what? Sorry, it is not high salary, it is very low salary. Very low salary. Then here it is low salary, right? Now let me just copy this. What is next? Next is when employee salary is greater than is less than equal to, right? Yeah. So when employee salary is greater than 30,000 and less than or equal to 50,000, then average salary. Then average salary, right? What is next? When employee salary is greater than 50,000 and less than or equal to 1 lakh, then high salary, right? Then high salary, right? Else, what? Very high salary. Else, very high salary. Okay. And now I have to put end as what? Salary type, right? I'll write dot display. Okay. Let me run this. Yep. What is the issue? A column variable or parameter with employee salary cannot be resolved. Okay. EMP salary cannot be resolved. Case when employee salary less than equal to 10,000. Is it the is column name right? EMP copy column name emp salary. Emp salary, that's correct. Okay. Let me just specify all columns here. Employee ID, sorry, employee ID, employee name, employee salary, okay, and employee department. Employee department. Okay, we run this. Again, error. Employee ID cannot be resolved. Oh, okay. This was not the issue. I have understood what is the problem. Okay, good. Select star is fine. Employee salary cannot be resolved. And as salary type. Okay, but from which table? Employee. We forgot to specify table name, right? From where we are taking this value, right? Now see, results are there. So this is how, with practice, you will be able to understand what is the error, right? Because I'm specifying employee salary column, right? I'm working on like deriving this salary type column from employee salary column, but this employee salary is part of which table? This employee table, right? Great. So this is how we learn to, solve the errors. Okay. I'll definitely not hide any error that I'm facing. Okay, we'll solve it together so that you will also understand what can be the possible issues that can happen while coding. Right? Fine. So this is when we handle the cases when we have multiple when conditions in place. Right? How many when we had? We had 4 when conditions, and fifth we have handled using else. Right? Fine. That's everything for this session. I hope this session has brought you some insights, right? Because first step we learned how to handle a single when condition, and in this session we have learned how to work with multiple when conditions, right? Fine. That's everything for this session. If you feel this is useful to the community, do like, share, subscribe. Okay. If you have any suggestions, do let me know in comment section. I'll definitely try to implement those. Okay. Thank you so much for watching the session. I'll see you in the next session.